A very good morning, students. I hope all of you are doing well. So as per the instruction that we have received from our coordinator madam, that is respected Shorbani madam, we are supposed to commence the online classes related to your second semester syllabus from today. I'm supposed to take up the first part of the first unit of your human resource management today. Now, before I start the discussion, let me tell you that in your second semester, you will study 4 papers. First of all, you will study statistics for business decisions. Secondly, you will study human resource management. Thirdly, you will study entrepreneurship development. And lastly, you will study environmental science. Now, I am supposed to take up a part of your human resource management and a part of statistics for business decisions. Now, the subject statistics for business decisions contains sums, and I don't think that it would be ideal to discuss in the online mode. So being optimistic about the situation and expecting that the situation will improve very soon, I will keep the discussion related to statistics for business decisions in halt for now, and I'll start with the discussion related to human resource management. What I generally do related to theoretical paper is that I'll share the notes in your WhatsApp group, and I will attempt to upload this video in YouTube and share the link of this video in your WhatsApp group. This video contains the discussion of the notes that I'll share. So please ensure that along with studying the notes, you also listen to the discussion, because listening to the discussion would facilitate for your understanding. So as I have told you that I will commence with the subject human resource management. So from the name of the subject, you can figure out that human resource management basically deals with managing employees in the organization. Now, an obvious question that can arise in your mind is that in the first semester, you have studied a subject called organizational behavior. In the second semester, you are studying a subject called human resource management. Now, both deal with employees. Now, where is the point of distinction? Well, the point of distinction is that human resource management will deal with some functions that the human resource department performs in the organization. So you can consider human resource department to be a functional department in the organization. What actually does functional department means? Functional department means a department which performs certain specific functions. For example, there would be marketing department, there would be sales department. Similarly, there is human resource department also. Organizational behavior, the subject that you had studied in first semester, dealt with the behavioral aspects of employees in the organization. It does not specify the functions to be performed, but human resource department in the organization, of course, performs some specific functions. Now, before we go to the discussion related to what human resource management is, let me tell you that the term human resource does not necessarily mean employees in the organization, because employees would be people having different characteristics. Now, all the characteristics of the employees are not of any interest or not of any concern for the manager in the organization. Rather, the manager is more bothered or concerned about the qualities, the talents, the skills, or the capabilities of the employees that could be made use of within the organization. In simple terms, what an employee does outside the organization is of little concern for the manager. So that is why human resources are considered as a resource, because they are seen to be contributor or to be facilitator of performance within the organization. So with this preliminary idea, let us explore the concept of human resource management. I will share the screen with you. Please pay attention. Here it is. I will try to enlarge the screen for you. So today, these are the 3 contents that we are going to explore. First of all, we will study meaning of human resource. Then we will study concept of human resource management. And lastly, we will study features of human resource management. As I have told you, human resources are the people and their characteristics at work from the viewpoint of the organization. From the viewpoint of organization means that the organization is not really concerned about the qualities, the traits, or the skills of the employees that cannot be made or use of within the organization. So human resource within the organization will represent the capabilities, the knowledge, skills which are exemplified in their talents and aptitudes of the employees. Now, human resources are also termed as human capital. let me tell you that there have been many nomenclatures. There have been many terminologies which are used as a substitute of human resource. But all the terminologies which are used basically are used to signify the importance of human resource within the organization. Now, when you say human capital, it is basically referring to those human resource in the organization which are contributing to the benefits of the organization, or human resource in the organization has a possibility of beneficial engagement. But it must be noted that some human resource in the organizations are not being utilized appropriately. Human capital basically refers to those employed human resource in the organization whose work are being made use of by the organization towards the performance. Now, since an organization performs a number of functions in the organization, therefore, the functional departments in the organizations can be of several types. For example, there can be production department, there can be finance. There are also levels in the organization. For example, top management, middle level management, and lower levels. Now, secondly, we will study what is human resource management. Now, before we go to the concept of human resource management, let me tell you that human resource management is a field of study. Management is a discipline. Now, what actually is the difference between discipline and the field of study? Discipline basically means that it will encompass many different fields of study. For example, human resource management is a field of study within the wide gamut of management. That means management will contain the concept of human resource management, and the development of management is also very recent. That means that the subject management has began in the 20th century, and the subject human resource management has also begun at that point of time, and it has followed the development pattern of management. Now, human resource management is a strategic and a coherent approach to management of an organization's most valued assets. Now, let me tell you what is strategic approach. Strategic approach basically means that human resource in the organization are considered as a strategic asset. What is a strategic asset? Strategic asset means asset which can be used to compete against the competitors or overcome the competition that the competitors throw at the organization. So that is what you mean by strategic. Making use of people in a strategic way means that you are making use of people by which you can gain competitive advantage. Coherent approach means that the human resource department tries to integrate the approaches of all the different departments. As I've told you, there can be different functions. For example, production, marketing, accounts, there can be different functions within the organization. Now, each and every functions need to be integrated so that the organization can achieve the objectives of the organization. So that is what you mean when you say coherent approach. So human resource management is both a strategic as well as a coherent approach by which the organization tries to value or tries to manage its most important assets, most valued assets, which are people. Now, people are working individually as well as collectively in the organization to achieve the objectives of the business. Now, this is Armstrong. The definition that has been given, that has been offered by Armstrong, is quite broad. Now, if you have to narrow it down and you have to understand the subject human resource management or the function human resource management in a more competitive way, then the definition that has been provided is that human resource management is concerned with competing for and competing of human resource. Now, let me tell you what is competing for. Now, in a particular society, there can be different organizations. Every organizations will compete for human resource. Compete for human resource means that they would try to attract the most qualified human resource from the society towards itself. So, of course, the organization which has the most efficient human resource, that organization would be more potential. So, competing for human resource basically means or involves recruiting or hiring employees for the organization. Recruiting and hiring both deals with acquiring human resource from the society. Now, it is not only competing for, it is competing on human resource also. Competing on happens when the employees are already hired for the organization. Once the employees are hired for the organization will try to train the employees, will try to make the employees so much efficient that they can be a source of competitive advantage for the organization. As I have told you, that human resource management is a part of management discipline. Now, as it is said that human resource management is a part of management discipline, it is not a discipline itself, but it is a field of study. It is a part of study. So since it is a part of management discipline. Therefore, it will involve the processes that are involved in management. Now, I hope you remember that management as a process contains four basic, or there are four stages. The first stage is planning, then is organizing, then is directing and controlling. These are the four basic functions of management. Human resource management will also have these four functions, but these four functions are applied in different ways, because these four functions are applied specifically for the functions that are performed within organization in the human resource department, which is recruitment, selection, development, motivation. So it will use the functions of management, which is planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, but it is using it for its own department. Now it is a continuous process. It is a continuous process basically means that human resource management cannot be done on and off. That is, today you conduct the human resource management, today you completely forget about the human resource. It cannot be done in that way. Rather, the human resource manager needs to be alert, aware regarding the human resource in the organization, so that the human resource can be managed in each and every stage of the organization. Thirdly, it is said that, as I have told you, it is concerned with people. Now, when you say that it is concerned with people, it is not only concerned with a particular level or particular department. Rather, its coverage is broad. Its coverage is throughout the organization. It will cover all the levels of the organization. That means it will cover the top level, it will cover the middle level, supervisory level, as well as the operative level. Next, it is said that it is directed towards the achievement of the organizational objectives. Now, here it is said that human resource management is directed towards achieving the organizational objectives. It will try to provide some tools and techniques by which the organization tries to manage the people so that they are managed effectively. Managing the people effectively means that people are managed in such a way that they contribute towards the organizational objectives. Lastly, it is said that human resource management has a universal existence. That means it is said that it is not only confined to business organization, it can also pervade to other organizations such as non-business. Non-business basically means the organizations which are non-profit in nature, such as non-governmental organization. So human resource management is required in other organizations or institutions also. Human resource management is probably required in a family also. So the pervasive nature of human resource management uh, basically refers to the fact that it has a universal existence. Further, it is relevant to all the functional areas. As I have told you, that irrespective of what functional area it may be production, it may be marketing, it may be finance or research and development, it will pervade all the different areas. Okay. So this is how we have completed our discussion related to the first part of the first unit of human resource management. I have also shared the notes with you. Please go through the notes and listen to the discussion correspondingly, because once you listen to the discussion, the notes becomes crystal clear to you. So this is how I basically take the class related to the theoretical paper. Now, in case I find that the situation is not improving and I have to take up the subject statistics for business decisions, then we have to use a video call app, which can be in the form of Zoom, Google Classroom, or Google Meet. But let me complete, first of all, the first unit of human resource management and then see whether there is any improvement in the corona cases. Then if I find that the time is passing by and I have to start your subject statistics for business decisions, then don't worry, we will conduct it in the Google Meet. I have only mentioned that starting statistics when the students are physically present in front of the teacher is the ideal way of understanding, because at any point of time the students can ask questions, can raise questions. That can also be done in video call, but sometimes there are many impediments such as network breakdowns. There can be the students may not have sufficient data. So all these things can be obstacles or hindrance while we discuss in the video call app. That is not so in case of YouTube or uploading the video in your WhatsApp, because once I upload the video in your WhatsApp, you can avail it at any point of time at your convenience. Anyways, I will provide the next notes within 3 or 4 days, but I expect that before I come up with the next notes, you are done with the preparation of these notes. Once I complete the discussion related to the first unit, then I will conduct a test. The test will be conducted in a Google Meet platform. So we shall consider a appropriate time in the day when the network is also fine. The network for for the mobile phones are also fine, and you can also make yourself available, but that will happen only when I complete the discussion related to the first unit. Anyways, so complete the preparation of this part within 2-3 days, and I'll come up with the next part of the discussion on either Wednesday or Thursday. Thank you very much. Goodbye.